Thanks, Don, for that. And we're ready now to introduce our second guest on the show. This guy has many hats, and we're going to talk about them. But one of the things he is the owner, publisher of the St. Mary's Independent. And so let's welcome Stewart Grant.
There, Frank.
There he is.
John.
Hey, how are you? Isn't this weird, eh?
Yeah, we're getting used to it.
I laugh because when I asked you to be on the show, it was like an instant yes, because saying, hey, this is going to be a real learning experience.
Absolutely. We're going to be doing more and more of this, like you guys talked about.
Yeah, and we had our practice at 12 o'clock to make sure we had half an idea what we were doing, and that was certainly an eye-opener. Okay, yeah, you're a publisher of a newspaper, and you won an award last year, am I correct?
Yeah, we did. You know what? We had everyone come together. We were able to bring over some people from the Journal Argus to really improve our paper, and that continues to be the case. We're trying to bring as many people into this as possible, and it was kind of music to my ears to hear what Amy was talking about as far as documenting this period of time that we're in. It's such a historically significant moment, and we want to hear from all sorts of different people to help us tell that story. So 40 and 50 years from now, people can understand what we went through. And in the present day, it's so important for us to, give people that connection to their community that the newspaper can bring.
So as a newspaper, what are some of the things you're doing to encourage people to tell their story?
Yeah, well, a lot of it's just getting the word out that we want people to contribute. So, for example, my wife's parents just got back from a 32-day cruise to South America that was cut very short. And so they submitted their story of what it was like as the week went on, and then their escape back to Canada, how that went. We encourage all sorts of people to tell us your story and let us get that out there, because I certainly can't go interview anyone in person. I haven't seen anybody in town in almost 2 weeks now. We just got back from Nashville and Florida ourselves, so we're in self-isolation here.
So how do you fill the newspaper? There's nothing going on.
Well, that we've had to make some adjustments, that's for sure. We normally Pat Payton does a 6-page sports section. There's no sports to cover. So Pat, he's a great writer, and he used to cover things other than sports at the Journal. So he's going to be taking a look at some of those social issues. How is it impacting people? Tyler Carruthers has also been instrumental in this adjustment. He recently moved to Toronto, and so we kind of got ahead of this a couple of weeks ago, because he's been doing the layout for our paper from his home office in Toronto. So it made for an easier transition for us.
Right. What it must be difficult though to try to pull, to keep things under control. And what I'm trying to get at is that there's a lot of myths out there. There's a lot of things that people put out there that have become that really work people up as opposed to getting the facts. What are the things, controls you're having on a newspaper to keep on target?
Yeah, well, certainly a theme for us throughout the year, and really through the Ontario Community Newspapers Association, we've stressed the importance of being able to identify fake news and make sure that you're getting your information from reliable sources. So certainly the media plays a big role in that. I know I've been watching TV actually a lot more than usual, getting news right from the source, whether it's Justin Trudeau's daily updates or CBC News, and then for our small part in St. Mary's, reading the Independent.
Yep, and certainly our mayor's done a great job of keeping everybody informed as well. According to our provincial premier, everybody's just really getting behind this, and what I certainly like to see is the fact that political differences, I think, are usually being put aside right now, and we're all focusing on the issue. And
that's for sure. We're all in this together, and we all just gotta put aside some of our differences and do the best we can.
Yeah. Speaking of Pat Payton, he must be going through withdrawal right now, but he was really into the St. Mary's Lincoln's progress, and a lot of the hockey teams in town who are in playoffs. You're part of the Lincolns. What must have been a disappointing situation for all of the hockey teams in town, not just the Lincolns.
Well, yeah, this touches everyone. but certainly from a Lincoln standpoint, I've been involved with the team for 4 years, and it's had a lot of ups and downs. And this was a playoff run we were all really looking forward to, from the excitement of it, and then of course with my Treasurers hat on, I was looking forward to seeing the PRC packed with people cheering on the Lincolns. So that was certainly a heartbreaking end of the season, but as we look back on it now, we know it was the right thing to do.
Yeah. Well, certainly it looked like from all the reports I heard and what I saw, a great group of guys.
Yeah, Spencer Seymour was on that bus on the way home when they got the news that the season wasn't just postponed, that it was canceled. And that was a really emotional moment because the team is so tight and there's some great leaders on that team. So what he did for this week's paper coming up is he wrote about that experience of being on the bus when the news came down, and that'll be worth a read.
And the coach was named Coach of the Year. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's right. We've Trent McClement and the rest of the gang. It's a huge staff that puts this together. A lot of people volunteer their time, and we were real proud to win that award. And yeah, congratulations to everybody.
I think from the top down, as an organization, the town can be very proud of them. I've looked at the promotions, for example, and Jamie and his crew have done a great job of promotions. Everything just works so well for the team, and it's a really first class presentation, if I can say so. I can say so. I just did it.
Well, it's amazing how many people are involved, kind of even behind the scenes, and heartfelt thanks to all the volunteers that help make the Lincolns run, and all the fans and all the sponsors too. There's a lot to this, and it does take a strong community to support a team like this for the last nearly 65 years.
Let's talk a bit about St. Mary's Radio. Spencer Seymour obviously is becoming the way he calls a hockey game is so professional. I remember the first broadcast he did, and of course it was a learning curve, but wow, he is fantastic. What's happening at St. Mary's Radio?
Well, yeah, I'll tell you, it's amazing to have a guy like Spencer, 20 years old, and see how talented he is. He does such a great job on the Lincolns and also covering the daily news and sports, which he does on the station. He's working on some special things right now. On Tuesday at 5:00, he's actually got a special show with another aspiring broadcaster, Joel Azano. They're going to be doing something called Just a Chat, where they're going to just sit down and talk about life in general, any number of topics, but they're going to try to avoid the coronavirus and politics, just to give somebody kind of a reprieve from the usual stressors of life right now. So if you have any ideas for that, send it into the station.
Yeah, and you could have your website, your Facebook group that can put it there, correct?
That's right. And to listen to the station, it's easy. Just go to stmarysradio.com and hit the player. Or now we have available on Alexa. You can just say enable St. Mary's Radio and it'll do that.
Good. Well, again, I often use St. Mary's as my background while I'm surfing on the internet, and it's great. Selection music's wonderful, and it makes me feel at home, and that's the good thing about it. Now, you said you had maybe a few surprises for me as to some of the directions you're going in. Can you tell me some of those?
Well, you know what? We'll kind of announce those as they come along, but
bad man.
It's just great when you get people like Spencer and you get people like Rob Edney Rob Edney stepped up to do this Tuned In show. It's incredible. It's like his newspaper program, but put to music. It's stuff like that. We want to do more of that. One thing Spencer touched on this week in the paper is people can send in their own station IDs. You can record something on your phone and email it to us. We'd love to get more of that stuff.
Yeah, because I've heard my voice a few times, and because I was around there the first week, I think, and I hear it a bit too often. Yeah, come on, everybody, send in that, so you get all over the world with your voice. That's when get your kids to do it too. That's great.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because it is a community radio station on Facebook, on the internet, and it really makes you feel at home. And we feature a lot of local artists too. Who are some of the local artists we feature?
Oh yeah, this has been a great opportunity to showcase these local artists like Darcy John, M. Griner, Callie McCullough. There's a huge list of them. When I did a top 40 countdown of 2019, and I think we had 6 different local artists in there. So it's a great thing. It's really exciting.
Well, Stewart, you've been very enlightening as usual, and appreciate your getting online with us here. And it's great to see your face. I'd give you a hug, but can't do that at a distance. But still,
Thanks a lot for having me
we're looking
on.
forward to better days in the near future. So
Take-
thanks for dropping in, and all the best. Okay.
Thanks.